All right, testing, testing. Great. Now, welcome to the part 2 of our chapter 22 video. Okay, now this time we are going to go a little bit deeper into taxation. Now, namely, we are going to look at how do we classify tax into different types of taxation. And this is very important because different types of tax will have different types of effects on later on when we talk about the so-called policies. So you need to make sure for this part, although it's not difficult, you need to make sure you understand what's going on here. Okay, now let's get started here. Now, the first type of categorization, we use the so-called tax burden to see whether a tax is a direct tax or indirect tax. Okay, now it's time to do some story. Okay, story time. Now, what exactly is a direct tax and indirect tax? Now, actually, indirect tax is easier to talk about. Now, here, let's talk about a plastic bag. Okay, let's talk about plastic bag charge. 係咪？而家我哋買膠袋要收錢噶嘛，係嘛 ？Which would be 50 cents as of now。而家仲係5毫子啫。Now, what happens is that how it operates is that now let's say this is 7-Eleven. Now 7-Eleven. Now in fact, the government when they collect the tax, the government would collect tax from 7-Eleven. Okay, I think every 2 months. They will do some auditing, asking, hey, how many plastic bags you have given out? Now, you need to pay me 50 cents for each plastic bag. Okay? Now, so you see, the actual operation is that the government is taking money from 7-Eleven. Now, the tricky thing is, although 7-Eleven is paying the money physically, okay, or through the bank. Now, who would bear the tax burden? Now, remember, actually, when 7-Eleven gives out a so-called plastic bag, they will ask for 50 cents from you. So, in a way, we as consumers, you see, are paying for 7-Eleven. Now, we call this action, okay, this tax should be paid by 7-Eleven, but they ask us to so-called subsidize them. 知唔知其實我哋資助咗 7 啦 ？Now we call this shifted burden. This is shifting of tax burden through increasing the price. 我加你價，咪將個 burden 俾咗你咯。Okay, so this is a indirect tax. Indirect in the sense that it can be shifted. It is shifted most of the time. Okay, so this is indirect tax. Now, as opposed, another story, let's say this time, profit tax. Okay, profit tax. Now, how it works is that 7-Eleven makes some profit. Now, the government would take a percentage of the profit as the so-called profit tax. Now, this time, the story is different. Let's say 7-Eleven is unhappy. They ask us as a consumer, they raise our price, okay? The price increased, okay? We as consumer, seems that we pay the tax for 7-Eleven, but does it work? No, because it works on a percentage of profit. If they raise our price, the profit most likely would go up. Now, therefore, the taxation they need to pay would also go up. In a sense, do you see the burden actually cannot be shifted? Because if you try to shift it, you will only end up paying more tax. So, in this case, This is what we call a direct tax because you cannot shift the tax. OK， 好嘛？嗱 ，let's come back to our notes. Now, so this is exactly how we categorize direct tax and indirect tax. OK， 好嘛？ Now, if you do not quite understand what was that, it's okay. You just need to remember, in Hong Kong, there are only 3 direct tax. Salary, it should be salary, profit, and property tax. These 3 are the only direct tax in Hong Kong. All other taxes must be indirect tax. 你咁記得㗎啦。總之咧，咪你咁記添。Okay, you just need to remember in such way, right? Salary, profit, property, those will be your direct tax. All other taxes in Hong Kong would be indirect tax. Okay, 好嘛? So this is the first way we do our categorization. Okay, not too difficult. Now the second way is actually more difficult. Now this time we look at the taxation as a percentage of your income or your profit, depending on who you are. Okay, 好嘛? Now we will get 3 types of tax. Okay, proportional, progressive, and regressive. Okay, now when we talk about proportional, progressive, and regressive, we are talking about the average tax rate as a percentage of your income. 係 income 啊，得唔得？ On your income, not on the price, not percentage of price, no, but percentage of income of your wealth. 得唔得？係根據你 income 嚟俾㗎。嗱 ，proportional tax would means that the average tax rate, regardless of your income level, you would be paying the same average tax rate. Okay, now in exam, there are 3 ways that they can try to give you, present a so-called proportional tax. Anyway, first of all, in Hong Kong, now, 2020, okay, there is only 1 proportional tax, and that would be property tax. All other tax must be progressive or regressive. 得唔得？嗱，香港得property tax. So let's see how we can present this tax. Okay, now there are 2 ways to present. Now, first way, when we use the average tax rate, okay, we are talking about tax rate, which will be a percentage. 好嘛 ？percentage 嘅 income. Since we say regardless of your income level, you pay the same tax rate, so it would be a horizontal line. Another way to present it would be here. When we talk about the tax payment, 我哋今次係講俾幾多稅啊，唔係俾稅率啊 ，tax rate. Okay, this would also be income. Now, it would be an upward sloping straight line. Upward sloping straight line. Now, I don't know the slope. Maybe 1 or maybe 0 point something, maybe 1 point something. I don't know. Okay, but it would be a straight upward sloping slope. Okay, 好嘛? So this would be proportional tax. 好嘛? Now, another type of tax, more important, would be progressive tax. It means that the higher your income, the average tax rate would go up. Okay, now in Hong Kong, again, as of 2020, we have 2 progressive tax, namely salary tax and our profit tax. 呢兩隻就係 progressive 啦 ，OK？ Now, when we try to present this type of tax, progressive tax, we do this, OK？ 好嘛？ Again, this is income. This would be our tax rate percentage. Now, it should be an upward sloping, or may not be upward sloping, but it would be going up. May not be a straight line. May not be a straight line. But the important thing is it is going up. OK? 只要係向上 ，tax rate 向上就係 progressive tax。OK？ 好嘛？ Now, another way. Now, this would be a little bit more complicated. When we talk about tax payment, which would be money amount, again, it would still be upward sloping, but it would not be a straight line. Instead, it would go curve up, something like this. Okay? Curving upwards. 越嚟越 vertical 啊 approaching vertical. Okay? It bends upward. 得唔得？ So this will be progressive tax. Okay? Now, as opposed to progressive tax, there is regressive tax, in which when your income goes higher, the average tax rate goes down. Okay? 好唔好啊？ Now, let's see. The way we present it would be like this. Again, our tax rate and our income. Now, when we talk about tax rate, it would go down. 只要係 tax rate 向下 this would be a regressive tax. Now, but the most difficult one would actually be tax payment graph. Okay, 睇住啦噃。Now, this is our tax payment. And here, we will have our income. Be careful. Most of the regressive tax are still upward sloping. 仍然都係向上㗎。只不過 it's only that it goes up flatter and flatter. 佢越嚟越扁。嗱，記住佢仍然向上㗎，好多時都 OK 得唔得？ Most of the time it's still going up, only it's going flatter and flatter. OK 好嘛？ So this would be one way to talk about it. Now let's put it in one graph. OK, let's put it in one graph to show the differences, to compare them. OK, now when we use tax rates, now rate 就容易啲嘅。OK, tax rate first. This will be income. Remember, proportional would be a horizontal. Now this will be our proportional. Now progressive would be going up. This would be our progressive. And anything going down would be regressive. Now this is an easy graph. The difficult graph is tax payment. Okay, now tax payment would be a dollar amount, income. Remember, proportional will be a straight line, upward sloping straight line. So anything that goes upper, 係咪？好似啦，直過佢 more vertical than proportional. Okay, proportional goes more and more vertical. Now this will be our progressive tax. For regressive tax, as long as it goes flatter, or even sometimes it can be a horizontal line, or in extreme case, it may even go down. Okay, now all three of these, as long as it is below the reference line of proportional tax, 只要扁過佢 as long as the slope gets gets lower and lower, sometimes even negative, right? It would be our regressive tax. Okay, 好嘛? Now, up to here, hopefully you know what's going on. If you do not quite understand what's going on, rewind the video and watch it again until you're okay. Because if you're not okay with that, you cannot go on. 你之後唔知發生咩事㗎，好嘛? Now, but then I say there are 3 ways to represent. So what would be the third way? It will actually be a table form. But then I suggest when we talk about table form, look at the questions instead. Okay, so without further ado, let's look at the examples to see how we can judge whether something is progressive, proportional, etc. Okay, 好嘛? Now, 1995. Now, study the following information. Now, it says if this tax needs to be progressive. Now, remember, progressive means the tax rate should be going up. 應該越嚟越高係嘛? So, let's calculate. Here, we just need to work out the tax rate. Okay, which would be a percentage. Now, first, this would be 10%. Second, this one would be 15%. Now, therefore, we need a number X that would be greater than 15%. And in our case, I think the only possible answer would be D. That would be greater than 15%. Okay? 好嘛? That would be greater than 15%. All right? Must be larger than this one. Okay? Because this one would exactly be 15%. But then larger than this one. Then it would be larger than 15%. 好嘛? All right? So sometimes they use table form. But when they use table form, we just work out the tax rate. Then it would be okay. 好嘛? Now, second. Now, this is a graph form. Now, remember, graph, there are 2 ways to present. Either tax payment or tax rate. Now, this time, we are talking about tax payment. So remember, when we talk about payment, a straight slope would be proportional, which would be this part. Proportional. This part would be proportional because it's a straight, going up straight, right? Proportional. Now, I just mentioned when something is flat, 係咪打橫嘅 horizontal, and it is a tax payment, then it would be a regressive tax. Okay, boy would be the answer. 係嘛? 嗱，呢個應該唔難啦。Now, let's move on further. Now, in 1998, now which of the following statement about tax is correct? Now here, progressive tax has higher tax rate than regressive. Actually, we do not know. When we talk about progressive, regressive, we are only talking about the change in tax rate. But we do not know about the absolute tax rate. 你冇得比邊個 tax rate 高啲㗎，你只可以比較邊個個 change 係大啲。Okay, you can only say the change about tax rate, but not tax rate itself. So A is incorrect. Now B, progressive tax is on income, while regressive tax is on goods. Now, most of the time it's correct, except that we can find one counter example. Progressive tax. In Hong Kong, we also have profit tax. Okay, we also have profit tax, now which you can argue is also income. Now, what about on goods? Now, regressive tax sometimes is on service as well. Right? So, it may not be true some of the time. May not be true. 有時其實 B 可以唔啱㗎。Now, most of the time it's correct. Most of the time, but not all the time. Now, so it is not the best answer. Now, let's see. C, tax payment of regressive tax decreases as taxable income increases. No, it's not the tax payment. Remember, it should be the tax rate decreases, not tax payment. So C is not correct. So what about D? Percentage of income as tax progressive increases. Yes, exactly the definition. The percentage goes up. 好嗎? Now, just like that. Now, 2003. Now I ask, which of the following are progressive? Now remember, I say progressive. As long as tax rate here, it means average tax rate is going up with income, right? Look at 1 and 2. Both of them are going up. This one also going up. So 1 and 2 are both progressive tax. 因為兩個都向上啊嘛。Now what about 3 and 4? Now 3, we are talking about a tax payment. So this is when you have a straight line tax payment. This is a proportional tax. And finally, horizontal. Now this one is a regressive tax. 係咪？嗱，其實真係記嘅咋。If you see, right, this kind of question, you just need to basically recite the pattern. Then all things will be rather easy for you, right? 好嗎? Now, final page. 2 more questions. Now here, you are given a table. We need to work out tax system A and tax system B. Okay? 好嗎? Now remember, when tax payment, I just mentioned, this one, you see, tax system A is a fixed amount of tax. Whenever it's a fixed amount, it must be regressive. 唔使問㗎啦，總之 fixed 嘅話，一定係 regressive. Okay? Now, what about B? Let's work out the tax rate of B here. 好嗎? Now, first one, I think will be 5%. Second would be 5%. And third would also be 5%. Now, since the tax rate doesn't change, 係咪？如果 tax rate 冇變到嘛 ，as the tax rate is the same, it would be proportional. Okay, so it's regressive proportional. 咁計嘅咋 ？Okay， 咁計嘅咋 ？Nothing special. Now, finally, let's look at 2014. Now, the government plans to impose a new tax under which tax payment drops when taxable income drops. 嗱，佢其實好似好難咁啊。Now, for whatever reason, when it says drops, it becomes difficult. You just need to change it, right? It says tax payment increases when taxable income, okay, income increases. Income you go, tax payment you go. Okay, so what tax it is? Remember, I just said several pages ago. Okay, here actually. When we look at tax payment, progressive, proportional, and regressive, the red line, they all can be higher the income, higher the tax payment. We only are saying the average tax rate. 原來3隻個 tax payment 都可以係隨住 income 越嚟越高嘅。Higher the income, higher the tax payment. Okay, so actually this one, it can be progressive, proportional, or regressive. There is no solid conclusion. Okay, 得唔得? So this video we have covered the so-called categorization of tax. Now, itself is not difficult, but make sure you familiarize yourself with this topic, because if you are not okay with this topic, then next, when we talk about effect of taxation in our next video, and 2 videos later, when we talk about the taxation in Hong Kong, you will drown. 係咪？你一定要識呢個先㗎。如果咪下面嗰兩個你唔知發生咩事㗎。Okay, so then this will be the end for this video. We shall meet again in our next video when we talk about the effects of taxation. All right, see you again next video.